Life has a way of turning tables in the most unexpected moments. The people who mocked you, doubted you, and dismissed you did so because they lacked the vision to see what God placed inside you. They couldn't comprehend the depth of your potential or the purpose for which you were created. Their laughter, their insults, and their rejection were never a reflection of your worth. They were a reflection of their inability to perceive the greatness that was yet to unfold. When God gives you a vision, He also equips you with the resilience to endure the ridicule and the courage to stand firm. People mock what they don't understand, and they often fear what they cannot control. But remember, every mockery is simply fuel for your destiny. It is a sign that you are on the right path, because no one mocks what isn't a threat to their comfort or their beliefs. The stone that the builders rejected always becomes the cornerstone. This is not just a saying, it is a divine principle. Those who laugh at you today will one day witness the manifestation of the promise that God has spoken over your life. They will see the fruits of your labor, the evidence of your faith, and the result of your perseverance. And when that moment comes, shame will fill their hearts, for they will realize they mocked what was destined to rise above. Do not seek revenge, do not argue, and do not fight back. Your best response to their mockery is success through obedience to God's plan. Let your actions speak louder than their words. Let your character be your defense. Stay humble. Stay focused and let time prove who you are. Time is the great equalizer. And when the time is right, God will exalt you in ways that no human can deny. Every insult hurled your way, every sneer, and every snide comment is preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemies. The same mouths that mock you will one day be silenced, and the same eyes that look down on you will look up to you. But when that day comes, do not gloat or hold resentment. Instead, extend grace, for their shame is enough punishment. Their disbelief in you was rooted in their disbelief in themselves. Stay true to your calling. Keep building, keep growing, keep believing. What God has begun in you, He will complete. And when He does, those who mocked you will bury their heads in shame, not because of what you said, but because of what God has done through you. People mock what they don't understand because they lack the ability to see beyond the surface. Their words, their laughter, and their dismissal are not a measure of your value or potential. They are merely a reflection of their own limitations. Mockery is often the language of the insecure. It is easier for some to belittle what they cannot comprehend than to acknowledge their own fear of the unknown. When they see you stepping into your calling, taking risks, or embracing a path they would never dare to walk, it challenges their comfort zone. Instead of being inspired, they choose to mock because it's safer for them to ridicule than to confront their own doubts and inadequacies. But their perception of you does not define who you are. Only the Creator who placed the vision inside you has the authority to define your worth. Their words, though loud, are powerless unless you allow them to take root in your heart. Remember, mockery does not stop destiny. It is often a sign that you are on the brink of something extraordinary. If you weren't a threat to mediocrity, they wouldn't bother to speak at all. Let their words roll off your back, for their laughter today will turn into silence tomorrow when God's purpose for your life is revealed. When God gives you a vision, it is not meant for everyone to understand. That vision is uniquely tailored for you. And it comes with a purpose that transcends human comprehension. Those who mock you do so because they cannot see what God has placed inside of you. They are looking at the surface, at what is visible to the eye, but they are blind to the seeds of greatness that God has planted deep within your soul. God's plans for you are not up for debate or discussion with those who doubt you. He didn't consult them when He designed your destiny, and He doesn't need their approval to fulfill His purpose in your life. The ridicule you face is a direct indication that your vision is beyond the ordinary. It challenges the boundaries of what is familiar and comfortable to those around you, and that makes them uncomfortable. But here is the truth. Their inability to understand your vision does not diminish its power. In fact, it magnifies the wonder of God's work in your life. What God is building through you is meant to defy logic, to surpass expectations, and to reveal His glory. Their mockery only highlights the gap between their limited perception and the divine reality of what is unfolding within you. Do not allow their lack of understanding to deter you. Instead, let it strengthen your faith. Trust that the God who gave you the vision will also give you the provision, the protection, and the path to bring it to life. Their words may be loud, but the voice of God is louder. Listen to him, follow his guidance, and watch as he turns what they mocked into something they can no longer ignore. Mockery, though painful, is often the very fuel that propels you toward your destiny. Every word spoken against you, every insult hurled your way, and every laugh at your expense can become the fire that drives you to prove them wrong, not out of spite, but out of obedience to the calling on your life. People who mock you unknowingly hand you the tools to build your resilience, to sharpen your focus, and to strengthen your resolve. Think of it this way: a seed grows best when it is buried. The soil presses down on it, darkness surrounds it, and yet that pressure is what enables it to break open and push through to the surface. The same is true for you. The weight of their words, the pressure of their scorn, and the darkness of their rejection are part of the process that will allow you to rise. Their mockery is not a setback, it is a signpost. It tells you that you are on the right path, that you are doing something significant enough to be noticed. No one mocks mediocrity. They mock what stands out, what dares to challenge the norm, and what threatens to outshine their own complacency. Rather than letting their words discourage you, let them motivate you. Each time they laugh, see it as confirmation that you are walking in your purpose. Each time they doubt, let it fuel your determination to keep going. Remember, the more they mock, the more God will use their words as a stepping stone to elevate you. What they intend for harm, God will turn into good. Their mockery is not the end of your story. It is merely the beginning of a greater testimony. Rejection is not the end. It is often the beginning of something extraordinary. The stone that the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone, the most vital part of the structure. This divine principle reveals that rejection is often a precursor to exaltation. Those who mock you and dismiss you do so because they cannot see the full picture. They reject you based on their limited understanding, but God's purpose for your life goes beyond their perception. When people reject you, it can feel like a door slamming in your face. But what if that door was never meant to open for you? What if their rejection was God's way of redirecting you to a path that leads to greater glory? Rejection is not a reflection of your value, it is a setup for your elevation. The very ones who mock you now may one day look to you as an example of what is possible. Their disbelief will turn into astonishment when they witness what God is doing in your life. Just like the cornerstone, you may be overlooked, underestimated, and disregarded, but in time, you will become the foundation for something greater than they could have imagined. Rejection positions you for divine promotion. It separates you from those who are not part of your destiny and aligns you with God's plan. Let their rejection strengthen your faith and sharpen your vision. Trust that God is using their disbelief to prepare a place for you that no one can take away. And when the time comes, their mockery will turn to silence and their rejection will turn to awe as they witness the fulfillment of God's promise in your life. Time is the ultimate revealer of truth. When you face mockery and rejection, it may be tempting to respond immediately to defend yourself or to prove your worth in the moment. But the beauty of God's plan is that it doesn't require instant validation from others. Time has a way of unfolding the truth, of exposing what is real and enduring. The same people who ridicule you today will witness the fruits of your perseverance tomorrow. They may laugh now, but time will reveal the depth of your character, the strength of your faith, and the power of your vision. What they mock today as insignificant will one day stand as undeniable evidence of God's work in your life. Time is not your enemy, it is your ally. Patience is not passivity. While you wait, you continue to work. You continue to build, to learn, and to grow. You let your actions speak louder than your words. Time allows the seeds of your effort and faith to grow into something undeniable. No matter how loud their laughter may seem now, it will fade when the harvest of your hard work and divine purpose is revealed. Trust the process. Trust that God's timing is perfect, even when it feels delayed. The truth always comes to light, and time will vindicate you. It will prove that the insults and doubts you endured were mere stepping stones to your destiny. When the time is right, God will elevate you in such a way that no one can deny his hand in your life. Those who mocked you will have no choice but to acknowledge the truth. And when that moment comes, you won't need to say a word. Time will have spoken for you. When you're walking in your purpose, distractions will come from every direction. The voices of mockery and doubt will try to pull your attention away from the vision God has placed in your heart. But you must remain focused. The path you are on is not for them to understand. It is for you to walk with unwavering determination. Mockery thrives on attention. When you stop to respond to every critic, you waste the energy that could be used to build your future. Imagine a runner in a race. If they keep looking to the side to check what others are saying or doing, they will lose their pace and risk missing the finish line. The same is true for you. The opinions of others are nothing but noise. What matters is the purpose that drives you and the destination you are headed toward. Staying focused doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing your battles wisely. Not every comment deserves your response, and not every insult needs your defense. Your energy is too valuable to be spent on temporary distractions. Fix your eyes on the goal and let your actions speak louder than their words. The more you focus on your calling, the more their voices will fade. People mock because they want to shake your confidence, to test your resolve. But the greatest response is your consistency. Show up every day, put in the work, and let the results of your commitment do the talking. When your focus is on fulfilling your purpose, their mockery loses its power. They may mock you today, but they cannot stop what God has already ordained for your tomorrow. The power of humility is often misunderstood. When people mock you, the natural reaction is to fight back, to prove them wrong in the heat of the moment. But true strength is found in humility. It is not about bowing to their insults. It is about rising above them with grace and confidence in who you are and who God has called you to be. Humility allows you to stay grounded, even in the face of ridicule. It teaches you to hold your peace and trust that God is your defender. When you choose humility, you are saying, I don't need to fight this battle in my strength because God is fighting it for me. Your silence in the midst of mockery is not weakness. It is a declaration of your faith in a higher power. Jesus in his time was mocked, ridiculed, and even rejected by those who couldn't comprehend his purpose. Yet he remained humble. He did not respond to every insult or try to justify himself to those who didn't believe. He understood that humility is a strength that disarms those who attack. It confuses your mockers because they expect you to retaliate, and when you don't, it reveals their own insecurity. Humility doesn't mean allowing people to walk over you. It means knowing when to step back and let God take the lead. It means refusing to let their words shape your identity or derail your purpose. In time, your humility will speak louder than their mockery. It will show them that your confidence is rooted in something they cannot shake, your unwavering faith in God's plan for your life. When the time comes, those who mocked you will have no choice but to recognize the strength of your humility and the glory of God's work in your life. Every time you rise after a setback, every time you choose to continue when others expect you to quit, you are proving your strength. You are showing them that you are not just someone they can dismiss. You are someone with a God-given purpose that will not be silenced by their mockery. In time, your endurance will lead to your victory, and those who mocked you will be forced to acknowledge your resilience. Their words will no longer hold weight as they watch you rise higher and higher above their expectations. The mockery they once believed would stop you will be the very reason they witness the greatness of your God-given purpose. As you continue on your journey, it's important to understand that there is a divine timing to everything. People will mock you because they cannot see the future you are building. They see only the present moment, the struggles, the delays, the challenges, and they mistake that for your final destination. But the truth is, where you are today is not where you are going. God has a plan for you that is greater than anything they can comprehend, and in his perfect timing, everything will come together. The key is to trust that what you're going through right now is not the end of the story. In fact, it is only the beginning. God is using this time to prepare you for something greater, to equip you with the strength, wisdom, and perseverance you will need to fulfill the vision He has placed in your heart. While others may mock you for your struggles, God is refining you, shaping you into the person who will one day stand as a testimony of His faithfulness. Timing is critical because God knows exactly when to reveal His plan for your life. He knows the right moment for your breakthrough, the right time for you to rise above the mockery, and the exact season for your purpose to manifest. When the time is right, those who mocked you will be left in awe because they will see that what they thought was impossible has become your reality. They will realize that their mockery could not stop God's plan for your life, and they will have no choice but to acknowledge the work He has done in you. Patience is not passive waiting, it is active trust in God's perfect timing. While they laugh now, your time is coming. God will lift you up at the moment He has ordained, and when He does, your mockers will be left speechless, unable to deny the truth of your purpose. They will witness the manifestation of God's promises in your life, and they will understand that His timing is always perfect. What seemed like a delay was, in reality, preparation for the greatness ahead. Mockery often works like a lens that magnifies your weaknesses, exposes your vulnerabilities, and makes them more visible to the world. But what others fail to understand is that their mockery is a reflection of their limited understanding, not of your true value. It's easy for people to laugh at what they don't understand, but God sees the potential in you that others miss. What they mock today, God will turn into a powerful testimony tomorrow. When others mock you, they focus on your failures or what they perceive as flaws. They don't see the full picture. They only see a moment, a snapshot of your life. They fail to understand that your journey isn't over, that your failures don't define you, and that every setback is only temporary. What they see as weaknesses are, in fact, the areas where you are growing, developing, and strengthening. The very things they ridicule today are the areas where you are being prepared for something greater. People may laugh at you for trying something new, for stepping out in faith, or for pursuing a vision that they don't understand. But what they don't realize is that the very act of you moving forward, even in the face of mockery, is a testament to your courage and determination. While they remain in their comfort zone, afraid to take risks or follow their dreams, you are out there in the arena fighting for what you believe in. And while they laugh at your struggles, they don't see the seed of greatness being planted in your life. One of the most powerful things you can do when others mock you is to keep moving forward. Don't let their opinions define your reality. They may see you stumbling, but God sees you growing. They may mock your small beginnings, but God sees the potential for greatness that you carry. Never let the mockery of others stop you from pursuing your purpose, for the very thing they mock will be the very thing that leads to your breakthrough. Mockery often stems from jealousy and insecurity. People mock what they fear, what they don't understand, or what threatens their own sense of comfort. They ridicule the person who dares to be different, the one who challenges the status quo. But instead of being discouraged by their mockery, see it as a sign that you are doing something significant. No one mocks mediocrity. They mock greatness, they mock vision, and they mock those who dare to rise above their circumstances. In the face of mockery, you must recognize that your purpose is not about proving others wrong, but about fulfilling the destiny God has set before you. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to respond to every critic, to defend yourself, or to convince others of your worth. But God doesn't need your defense. He needs your obedience. Your purpose is bigger than their opinions, and the plan He has for your life is not contingent on their approval. Think about the great figures throughout history who faced mockery, ridicule, and rejection. People like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and Thomas Edison. All of them were mocked and belittled for their ideas, for their visions, and for their dreams. Yet in the end, the very things they were mocked for became the foundation of lasting change and progress. Their mockers were forced to admit that they were wrong, and in some cases they had to apologize for their ridicule. This is the power of persistence. Mockery often has a shelf life. Those who laugh at you today will not be able to sustain that laughter when they see the fruits of your labor. They will not be able to keep mocking you when they witness the manifestation of your vision. What they once dismissed will become undeniable, and the mockery they aimed at you will turn into silent admiration. They will no longer be able to ignore the greatness that you have been walking toward all along. When you are mocked, it's important to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. The journey that God has for you is not determined by the opinions of others. In fact, the more they mock you, the more you should recognize that you are doing something right. It's a sign that you are on the right track. It's a confirmation that you are moving forward and breaking free from the limitations others have placed on you. But there is something even more powerful than the eventual silence of your mockers, the testimony that will come from your journey. Your story is not just about your struggles, it's about the victory that comes from overcoming. It's about the lessons you learn along the way and the strength you gain through adversity. It's about how God takes the very things others use to try to tear you down and turns them into stepping stones toward your destiny. Every time they mock you, remind yourself that God is using it for His glory. He's taking what was meant to hurt you and turning it into the foundation of your testimony. The mockery, the ridicule, and the rejection will one day be part of the story that you share with others to encourage them to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. You may be going through a season of mockery right now. People may be laughing at you, doubting you, and questioning your every move. But remember this, their mockery does not define you. What matters is your response. Will you shrink back in fear, or will you rise up with courage and determination? Will you let their words hold you back, or will you use them as fuel to propel you forward? Your purpose is not determined by what others think of you. It is defined by what God has called you to do. And when you align yourself with His will, nothing, not even mockery, can stop you. Their words will fade, but the purpose that God has for your life will remain. The mockery that is meant to destroy you will become the very thing that God uses to elevate you. So don't be afraid to keep moving forward. Don't be afraid to pursue your dreams, to chase your vision, and to fulfill the purpose that God has placed on your life. The mockery you face today will soon be silenced by the reality of your success. You will rise above their doubts, above their laughter, and above their scorn. And one day they will look back and realize that their mockery only made you stronger. It was the fire that forged you into the person you were always meant to be. As you continue your journey, remember that God is with you every step of the way. He is your defender, your provider, and your strength. He will not let the mockery of others derail His plan for your life. He will take every insult, every laugh, and every sneer and use it to propel you forward. In the end, those who mocked you will have no choice but to bow their heads in shame, for they will see that you were always destined for greatness. The story of your life is not defined by the opinions of others. It is written by God Himself. And as you continue to walk in His purpose, you will witness His hand of favor and blessing on your life. The very things that others mocked will become the testimonies of God's faithfulness and power. And when they see the fruit of your labor, they will have no choice but to acknowledge the greatness that God has worked in and through you. So keep moving forward, even in the face of mockery. Your victory is assured, and the mockers will one day be left speechless, amazed by the greatness that has been birthed from the very things they tried to destroy. Keep trusting in God's plan, for it is far greater than anything they can ever imagine. As you move forward on your journey, remember that the mockery you face is simply a sign that you are moving in the right direction. It is proof that you are on the path to something greater than what others can see. People will laugh, they will doubt, and they will question your every move. But what they don't realize is that their mockery is only fueling your progress. The mockers may not understand the vision that God has placed within you, but God does. He sees the end from the beginning, and He has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. You are not defined by the opinions of others or by the challenges you face today. You are defined by the strength, resilience, and courage that God has placed within you. One day, those who mocked you will be forced to recognize that what they ridiculed was the very thing that made you strong. The purpose that they tried to diminish will be the testimony that rises above every doubt and every criticism. In the end, they will be left in awe of the greatness that God has worked in your life. So stand firm, keep your eyes on the vision, and trust that God's timing is perfect. The mockery will fade, but your purpose will remain. Your story will not be one of defeat, but of victory. And when your breakthrough comes, when your success is evident, those who doubted will have no choice but to acknowledge that you were always destined for greatness. Remember, the path of greatness is often met with mockery, but it is also the path that leads to the fulfillment of God's promises. Keep moving forward. Your victory is on the horizon, and when it arrives, the mockers will bow their heads in shame as they witness the power of God's work in your life. Keep pressing on, for God is with you, and your breakthrough is inevitable. Heavenly Father, we come before you with humble hearts, grateful for your constant love and unwavering support. Lord, we acknowledge that you are the source of all our strength, our courage, and our purpose. We thank you for being with us in every season of our lives, especially in moments when others mock, criticize, or doubt us. Father, you know the depths of our hearts and the challenges we face. You see the mockery, the pain, and the struggles we endure. We ask you, Lord, to shield us from the hurtful words of others and to fill our hearts with your peace. Strengthen us in times of weakness and help us to trust in your divine timing and perfect plan for our lives. We pray for the strength to rise above every word of ridicule, every laugh, and every judgment. Help us to remain focused on the purpose you have placed in our hearts, and remind us that our worth is not defined by the opinions of others, but by who you say we are. You have called us to greatness, and we trust that you will bring it to pass in your perfect way and at the perfect time.